Hello, hello. Is everything going good? Hi. I know it has been a significant time since I last streamed, I believe. According to my notifications, 24 days. Nearly a whole month since I last streamed. I apologize for that. I have been doing work. That's my only excuse. I've been a sleepy little guy. But I am ready to play some Ace Attorney Investigations. And I think I will get straight into that. Without further ado. Ta-da! There we go. Alright, Nobah, I am in place. Check my Discord notifications, of which there are 20 million. Alright, let's get into it. So currently, we are on episode 2, in which Miles has been accused of murdering somebody, but we couldn't have murdered them because we were unconscious at the time. Because the turbulence is basically an earthquake in the sky. And we have just reached the middle section, apparently. So the plane has just landed, and we... Oh, is that one still Samurai guy? I know it is, baby. March 12th, 1 p.m. local time, Hope Spring Airport. I know that once we'd landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Tenera and Miss Melee, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Tenera in private. So I'm just left wondering, just what was she up to, and why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth. Haha! It's the German lady! Franziska, I thought you were still in Germany. I go where I'm needed, and wherever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Franziska von Karma. The daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I am placing you under arrest. What? It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day. Okay. Very good. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Von Karma would become a criminal. Have you no shame? Do you not remember your father? Wait. This has all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim. A misunderstanding? I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death. Francesca, do you honestly believe that I killed a man? I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I've investigated this for myself. I could put your arrest on hold until then. As it should be. Ha! I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you of all people. To be perfect in every way, that is the fulfillment creed alone. The fulfillment of that creed alone is all that I strive for. Well, I have my own creed which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together? I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town. And trust me, I had no intention to. Detective Gumshoe? Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Too slow. Ow! Listen up. I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Do not mess up, understand? Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him? A simple yes or no, detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. You just leave it to me. Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me. Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, Detective. I believe in you, sir. You can lead on me. I'll get you through this. I have to admit, I'm a bit curious as to what Franziska is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you. Initial investigation. So, how's the initial investigation going? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office. We're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like Francesca. She was always good at quick responses to a case. I'd say she was a little too quick, sir. Oh, how so? I rushed on over as soon as I got the word from of the affair, sir. But somehow, when I got here, Miss Von Karma was already barking out orders at everyone. It was kind of creepy, as if she knew there had to be a murder or something. And she'd come in advance to wait for your flight arrival. That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this. Miss Von Karma's just kind of popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. And no details. It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, Detective. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyway, that's about all the info I have, so we should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it's hard time to resume my investigation, starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh. I don't remember actually ever seeing the pilot. So you must be the captain. Why, yes I am, and who might you be? I'm the prodigy prosecutor, Franziska Von Karma. And I have a few questions for you. Don't you dare, Captain, getting friendly with another woman? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, I just didn't want to say it. I'll never forgive you if you do. What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person. Sure you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir? He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I'd like to leave that type of witness to Francisca and her whip. Ah! Ah! He's like, shit happens, man. Oh, it's this man again! Fucking hate him. March 12th, 1:40 p.m. First floor lounge. Now see here. Ah! Sorry, I'm so sorry. How long do you intend to hold me? It's impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you. Mr. LeBlanc. Oh, it's you. Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. And time is money. I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend. Sir, you can't go in there. I'm Miles Edgeworth. I'm one of the prosecutors on this case, so please let me through. I'm very sorry, sir. No one is allowed to enter without Miss Von Karma's express permission. But I'm on the case. Yes, I understand that, but I also have explicit instructions not to let you through from Miss Von Karma. Why would you do this to me, Francisca? Did you finish taking his statement yet? Yup, all done, sir. I do not concern if you are done with examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. LeBlanc's cargo. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Mr. LeBlanc's an art dealer, sir. He's got a bunch of artwork down at the cargo hold, sir. It's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statue, I sell all kind of art. Folk costumes, speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat. Kind of looks like that piece of cloth. I'm gonna need to, this piece of cloth. Ah, so it does. Mr. LeBlanc, would you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it's Burgundian. It's a Burgundian cloth. As I suspected, your hat is made of the same material, I suppose. Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous. Orders come from all over the sea and for more. Then this is the cargo you were talking about earlier. No. My cargo this time is much, many gigantic. You, detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. The stubbornness of your police, it is no good. Yeah. Oh, Club Penguin, how fondly I remember. And it is no good that the attendants refused the exit to attendance room too. That attendant? I wonder if she's talking about Mrs. Tenero. Rhoda Tenero. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken into the attendance room for her interview, and then they still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Miss Tenero interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Oh my gosh, Francisca! Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane for you, weren't you? Yes, and I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendants' room? Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have tricked those flight attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you cannot pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Och, nein! Ich möchte nicht! Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here in this very lounge, and where the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. The likeliest suspect, Francesca. Do you have a problem with that? No, but it's unlike you. Not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast. Yes, but we've proved that I'm not the only one, haven't we? Because there were footsteps. Footprints?
Hold it!
9! Don't you think you're being a little too rash by simply declaring me the culprit? I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes. Hey, you say that like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles. Ow! I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony to be uttered in my presence. I see she hasn't changed a bit, but I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily. And I'm going to make it difficult for her. Me when I don't know what I'm doing.
Hold it!
While it's true I was in the lounge the whole time, that fact alone does not make me the criminal. Ha! Will we see about that when at the conclusion of this investigation? However, there's one thing that you must admit at this time. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect.
Hold it!
Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am the most likely suspect. But I believe in you, sir, and I don't think you did it. Miss Von Karma's got to believe that too, right? I mean, you two are like siblings. Ow! Quiet, Scruffy. Even if we were related by blood, that is no guarantee that he is not a criminal. Francesca. I demand to see some proof that you are not the guilty party. The likeliest suspect, huh? What a roundabout euphemism. Oh, that's how you spell that. But it would appear she doesn't know yet about the new evidence we acquired and where we acquired it. I'll take care of the gaps in her logic one hole at a time. Okay, so... Bam, 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 bam. Is it this? Or is it this? I'm gonna go with the footprints.
Objection!
I was wrong. So wrong. Well... Oh.
Objection!
Well, shoot me in the fucking foot, I guess. Thank you. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I've never said I was smart in any kind of way. It has a certain je ne sais quoi about it. Yes, perhaps that's the best way to put it. She's 19! The suitcase on the second statement. Ah, right. That, yeah.
Objection!
Thank you. Thank you, walkthrough assistant. Hi! It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I don't know. Okay, it's Basil, baby. Hi, baby, hi. Anyway, I found a nice piece of evidence just before. No, not you. You're not Basil. You're Vinny. You're Vinny. Yeah, you're Vinny. It's just who I am as a person. I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. Binny! Come here, Binny! Hi! Hi! She's a good kitty. Oh god, my mum's messaging me. She found a certificate that I won back in 2013. She's taken a picture of it and sent it to me. A piece that proves that the body was moved from the different location. Oh, lying coldly! I love this song! The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not the lounge after all.
Objection!
Objection! Now, who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions? Excuse me. All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That does not prove how the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose the suitcase as a good place to hide this cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. A von Kammer is perfect in every way. Ah, but did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
Objection!
As if there is proof of that. Yeah, bust it down in the chat. Where is the proof that the suitcase was moved around?
Take that!
All it takes is one look at this and you'll have your answer. Indeed, I have my answer now. That you are an English... What? No, that was... the wheel! Oh, no! God, I'm stupid. The footprints. The...
Take that!
There's a spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here.
Take that!
This mark here, wouldn't you say that looks suspiciously like two tracks from two wheels? I suppose. Further, there is also grape juice residue on one of the wheels of the suitcase. This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. I suppose that means the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you come to your senses.
Objection!
We love a cross-dressing queen. Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear, not by a long shot. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. Then, as you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator, with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit a patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. I love how she says all this like she doesn't know the fact that any time a bit of turbulence or earthquake hit, he passes out. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly. Just what are you insinuating, you son of a bitch? That I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaw in her logic in one fell swoop. Will we? Like, I'm 90% sure it has something to do with... the fact that the shop is closed. Oh, thank you for the follow, Luzamain. Okay. On the first statement. Yeah, that's why I was thinking, because yeah, it's after the turbulence.
Objection!
Yeah, cult. The fact you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic, essential tools that would stand in the courtroom. That those who would stand in the courtroom must learn to master. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Captain Hugo Piggy is such a fake. This is not the real murder weapon. Thus, the timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important, and it was taken after the turbulence had occurred. But then what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick up the bank from off the floor. And took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Akby Hicks. You there! Yes, ma'am. Other than this piggy bank, was there anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be used for one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence, and the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood. I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end. But it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir. If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I'd think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence, which means the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or it's still at the real crime scene. There's one more possibility, and that would be that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon. Oh, but didn't we just... Let me finish! The killer took the bank out from the display cabinet before the turbulence by opening the lock in the display case door. It was at that time the glass pane on the door was broken. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see, so that means the killer had the key to the display case. Francesca, the person you're talking about. Not so fast, I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. Sin? She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I've recalled that you also wished to speak with her. Yes. Well, permission granted, but only if I can sit in on your investigation. Do we understand each other, Miles Edgeworth? I have no intention of interrogating her, but you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish. Mr. Nero is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. Flight attendant's room. So you're the one that poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. Ah? What happened? Thank you. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? I... Mr. Nero. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too? Can you please help us shed some light on why you did what you did? All right. She's so pretty. And why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission. What do you mean? The captain, he only has ears for Cammy. I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Mealy. Ah. Yeah. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends. In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Why did you ban them? That wasn't a bot! That wasn't a bot, Kirby! That was a person! Kirby! Kirby, no! Okay. It's okay. That was just so incredibly funny to me. Loser mate, I'm so sorry. No, Kirby, don't jump. I'm so sorry. Oh. Oh, that was really fucking funny. That was so fucking funny. Oh no. Okay. Back to our regularly scheduled Ace Attorney. It's not regularly scheduled. I stopped streaming for a month. Okay. Yeah. I too love men and women. A healthy amount. In a non-suspicious way. Okay, let's continue. Oh, thank goodness. Miss Tenero, is it? There's one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you there? Well, Why the sudden hesitation? Francesca seems to have struck a nerve. All I did was go to check up on the shop like I always do. You are saying it was for work, then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go in there otherwise. After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell. Miss Tenero claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is there all that is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. Ah, yes, the thing. If you could please take a look at this for me, Miss Tenero. Oh, that suitcase. Yes, about the suitcase. You were the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured out something else about it. The suitcase is the reason why you went to the shop, isn't it? There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there? Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase? Yes, I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. I know that as a service professional I'm not supposed to care, but I really wanted to know. I was so glad to see that it was the last one there. The last one there? So you're saying, Miss Tenero, that the suitcase in question was the last one? Yes, they're just so popular they're practically flying off the shelves. That's not exactly the impression I got. The one in the shop is most definitely the last one. Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase. Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one. I didn't say anything about buying it. I stole it. I'm a thief. Then say you'll buy it. I'm sorry, I can't. But why? I think it'd go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. I guarantee it personally, as a service professional. Well, that is, how should I put it? It's hideous. What? Maybe that was a bit too direct. Ah, yes. Ace Autistic. Miles Edgeworth. Moving on. My issue with the suitcase isn't the design, but it's the number of them remaining. Remaining? There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I went to investigate it. 2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only 1. Looks like her story has generated quite a contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only 1 suitcase left. Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? By the way, Miss Tenero, what is one of those suitcases doing here? That's... I thought you said there was only 1 left. That one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now. She's used it for a very long time. I think not. Miss Tenero, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me. Excuse me? I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. Still got the price tag on it, buddy.
Take that!
Tell me, Miss Tenero, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase? It's okay, now that we just had, like, a bot come in before We were on high guard, but no, you can make the jokes you want. It's okay. What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about the suitcase? Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales number made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to you. Autism attorney, yeah. Yeah. It's autism attorney. Mr. Nero, I think I understand. You say this like you aren't also autistic. Meh. I know what you were trying to hide. Now then, this suitcase was originally in the in-flight shop. Seeing as how the price tag is still on the suitcase. Am I? One can only assume that it was on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who bought the suitcase was...
Take that!
It was you, wasn't it, Mr. Nero? I hate to say it, but the suitcase you designed hasn't sold very well, has it? Yeah. He's on the edge of the autistic spectrum. You saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. This is why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right? Then the reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry. All I really have is my job. I was so overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I'd finally accomplished something. But the suitcase didn't sell. It's because of the design, isn't it? Or because it's, as you put it, hideous. I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either. We weren't selling a single one, they were just sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there day in and day out. So I decided to buy one every flight I worked. You buy one every single time you work a flight? Yeah. I see. So in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. Yes, and here's my receipt for that purchase. This receipt is clearly timestamped 5:40 AM. The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight. Mr. Nero, where are these other suitcases? They should all be in the cargo hold. Then the suitcase the killer used could very well have come from the cargo hold. Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think that the killer used one of my suitcases to... Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body. Huh? How could they? Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wanted them to be. Mr. Nero, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator? The only way is just through that door there. And what about security? That door has no special lock installed because just to enter this room, you need a special keycard that only crew members have access to. Which means the culprit is somebody who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects. I can't believe it. Yes, Francisco? Going on these wild goose chases, you're disgraced as a von Karma name. Und ja, Queen. And what do you mean by that? The suitcase came from the cargo hold. That fact alone tells the whole story. Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their keycard. Miles Edgeworth, you're proposing that the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct? Yes, that's the only realistic possibility. Other than that attendant, Miss Mealy, I asked her earlier. She had this to say. Francesca got information out of Miss Mealy. In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different keycard is required. A different one? Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Tenero, and only you. Ah! What? Is that true, Miss Tenero? Yes, I keep that key card in my locker at all times. Could you please show us that card right now? Yes, hold on. Ah, I don't believe it. What's wrong? The keycard, it's gone! Haha, very clever. Pretending that your keycard was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You really thought this through. Oh, wait, no, it's not like that. You can tell us all about what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Edgeworth. What's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face. Francesca, I know that you are the lead investigator on this case. However, hold it. Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know there are rules as well as I do. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, the basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth? I intend to do likewise. Oh my god, yay! And it only took us 50 minutes! Yes. He's so small. Whoa, so this is the cargo hold, huh? Clunk clunk. It's so big! This plane is a special model, and has both super large cargo hold and an ultra luxurious first class seating. So this is the real scene of the murder? And there is certainly a high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Okay, let's go investigate, sir. Let's begin! Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew. Sure brings back memories of when I worked as a part-time mover, sir. By the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of his story. But no matter how he pours on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth. It's like an all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-use suitcase fair. This must be all of the leftovers, the ones they couldn't sell. The ones the company were planning to dispose of after the flight was over. This paint job's really cool, don't you think? It practically screams artsy. Oh, why not purchase one then? I'm sure it will bring you much happiness. You think so? Then maybe I would... $1,200! Well, I think I'll pass. Mr. Nero wonders why they don't sell. You need 2 jobs just to buy one. Although, it definitely looks like there is one missing. What is this brittle substance I'm stepping on? A bunch of glass fragments? Ew, we can logic it up in this bitch.
Eureka!
I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. And the victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the glasses would match up perfectly with the remnants of this glasses' lens. Ergo, the victim was here, just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit too early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has just skyrocketed considerably. All that's left to do is find the murder weapon. Hey, what's with the suitcase, pal?
It's what the victim checked in, sir.
This suitcase belonged to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'll mind if we took a closer look. He's dead now, after all.
There's nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir.
Wait, a file.
And there's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir.
It looks like a profile on Francesca. Why would Mr. Hicks have a file on her? You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And you immediately began to direct the investigation. It seems to me that you were already here at the airport for something besides this murder.
Yes, I was.
I've been following a very large and involved governmental level international crime. But it's much too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol. Interpol is involved. It's top secret operations, so I can't really tell you any more than I already have. Z. Q. Now then, why would Mr. Hicks have a document profiling Francesca?
Why no, sir. He's a big fan of Miss Von Galmer's, sir. I don't recommend that for him. She's a bit whip-happy.
Francesca said she had come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation.
Oh, maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and he followed her.
Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was actually an Interpol agent Hicks. I think Francesca has some explaining to do. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you?
Nonsense! What are you talking about?
We found a profile detailing information about you in the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him so that he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol agent Hicks. Isn't that correct? I should have known you'd figured it out, Miles. But it looks like they got him first. So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent then?
Yes.
Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. He went undercover to investigate this crime, and it was I who put him on this case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. I think we now have a pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold.
But what was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing but luggage.
Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it.
Wow!
Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason, of that I am sure. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Francesca, do you know how exactly he intended to pursue his investigation? No, unfortunately I was going to find it out from him after he landed.
I see.
But this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of crew and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in. Yes, and then he was murdered here. These glass fragments and his broken glasses are testament to that. And then the killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases, and as they entered the elevator, but whilst they were riding it up, the plane hit a pad of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Hicks' body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere. Which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor.
I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage.
What?
What? What? Really, sir?
I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth, but the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Tenero.
Nine, I don't want to do this!
If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is the keycard allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such high-level access is Miss Rhoda Tenero. I'd say that's a pretty decisive piece of evidence, wouldn't you?
Well,
I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain it's as simple as that.
hold it!
But it's highly likely that the keycard was stolen from Mrs. Tenero.
It's highly likely? Is that possibility the best you can come up with? And you call yourself a disciple of my father? My father would be rolling in his grave. Oh wait, he is, because we had him killed.
Well, while I don't have any evidence,
Be quiet, you are a disgrace. You are a disgrace. There's more evidence pointing to Miss Rhoda Tenero, you know. It's not just the keycard that gives her away.
Are you talking about the murder weapon?
The Captain Hugo piggy bank? Yes, she is also the only one with the key to open that display case. Further, there's a matter of... Nein! Du bist nichts! Further, there is the matter of the key to the display case that held the murderous bank. There's a new statement. I didn't even know. Objection! But that's fake. Stop right there, Miles Edgeworth. You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. If you must keep on insinuating that it is a fake, then what is the real murder weapon and where did it go? Oh, scheisse. Speechless, I see. That is not a surprise. After all, you know that we searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. There must be a way. There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as the murder weapon. Francesca, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions. Oh, was I? Yes, we don't even have the autopsy results yet. How can I say that you'd not made a snap judgment when you have yet even to see if the wound on Agent Hicks's head is consistent with the murder weapon? Scruffy! Yes, sir. Contact the medical examiner office at once. I wish to hear the results of Agent Hicks's autopsy. Yes, sir. Run. We're just gonna stand here for 5. We've got a big problem, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. What is it, detective? They're still doing the autopsy, but they said they already know this one thing for sure. Report now. The doctor said it's... The doctor said that it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. Oh. The victim's shoulder to his mid-back? He was beaten over such a wide area? Well, I'd say maybe it's a sign that the killer had a grudge against Agent Hicks. Or, I don't know, he was pushed. Because, like, if he was pushed from, like, the top of the stairs, he would fall here. And that would explain why his glasses thing ended up there. But that's just a theory. A game theory. Well, I'd say maybe it's a sign that the killer had a grudge against Agent X. It wasn't just his head. The killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir. Scruffy, what is had a grudge against Agent Hicks supposed to mean? Oh, well, that, sir. Was the wound on the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, detective? Oh, well, they said we're still looking into that, sir. You're completely useless. Yo. Sir, I already told you can't go down there. No, you remove yourself from my way. What is all that racket? My luggage, my cargo, they are mine. I demand you return them to me. We're still investigating the cargo hold. Please understand and have a little patience. I suppose there is no choice. Where are you going? Finally, I think he what are you doing? You have left me with no choice but to use strong force. You won't get past me. This is it. So that's what this whole thing has been about. Further, there is a matter of the key. Further, there is the matter of the key to the display case that held the murderous bank. After all, you know what we searched. We searched the cargo hold and came up empty-handed. The doc said it was one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. That is a man's naked back.
Okay. Thank you. Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over and over, which is why there is extensive bruising over such a wide area. But is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? And the bruise from his shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which more suggests a single blow to the back. If that's the case, then the piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be something far bigger. The ground! If we were looking for a rather large weapon, you'd think it would stick out. But so far we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of sorts. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we've overlooked from the very beginning, because normally it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. What's all this about? Is he trying to jump his way down here? Franziska. What? What do you want? Don't yell at me, good God. I've trauma. I found it, Franziska. I found the real murder weapon. You did? It really jumped! We didn't realize it until now, but... Meow, 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 meow. We didn't realize it up until now, but the answer's been right in front of us this whole time. He might be hurt. We should go check up on him, sirs. Shut up, Edge. Gumshoe, shut up. There's that pompous attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit. And that's coming from a prosecutor with a habit of whipping everyone she comes across. Anyway, if you really are a prosecutor, then you'll back yourself up with some evidence. You two aren't listening at all, are you? Come on, Zen. Show me this real murder weapon. I don't have any evidence to show you. Foolish reasoning from a foolish fool, from a foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me. What do you mean by I don't have any evidence to show? Perhaps I should have phrased it, that which caused Agent Hicks's death is incorporeal. Forgive me, but I do believe I've figured out what the real cause of death was. Freefall. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death was free-falling to the ground. He fell to his death? Yes, this is the only plausible possibility. The victim had extensive bruising on his back, on the back of his head and his back. The DA's office? Oh my god. Defense attorney? Okay. You can't divorce me. We haven't gotten married yet. Anyway, pardon me. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. The only rational explanation for this injuries is that he fell to his death. But the murder happened inside this plane. I know. Are you claiming that there's some place in this plane from which he could have fallen from? As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time.
You can't mean. Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs of this very cargo hold. What? Then we're in trouble. We may have a second death on our hands, sir. Hey, you! Tell me you aren't dead, pal. Quiet. Why are you screaming? He's alive! And so you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that Agent Hicks follows this railing to his death. That means that man is living proof of this. I suppose it's true that that's not possible given the current circumstances. The current circumstances? What's that supposed to mean? Suppose that large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then? It would have been a Bourguignon pancake for sure, sir. I suppose that man over there still wouldn't have still been breathing. But the reality is that the cargo box is there, so there's no point in entertaining your wild hypothetical scenarios. It may be there now, but there's no proof it was always there. Ha! As if there could be a window of time the giant box was not there. Ah, but there was. Was? What can I use? We stuff for refueling. Oh my god, Jingfa! The Republic of Jingfa! Yay! I love Agent Lang.
Take that!
You refueled in the Republic of Jingfa? Yes, this flight had to take a short layover in Jingfa in order to refuel. But that wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at that time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. Ah, it's labelled Jingfa Express. Correct, meaning that it was loaded onto the plane at Jingfa. Now, what if the box in question was also loaded at the same time? It would mean that the box was not there in the cargo hold during the Europe-Jingfa leg of the flight, making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible. Ah, but your theory is still very far-fetched. Then allow me to prove how likely my scenario is. My first order of business is to examine the piece of cargo in more detail. This is a rather large piece of cargo. It's got a tag on, sir. Let's see. Alfie Road statue. Never heard of it. Nor have I. But all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime. Let's get investigating then, sir. Oh no, he's speaking in Bourguignon. I don't understand that. Look here. Do not go around touching my possessions without my permission. Don't rush up on me like that, pal. This belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? I should see what else I can find out from him. I take it that this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc. Of course it is mine. I shipped this fine piece of arse from I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe. This Alfie Red statue is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much more than that. Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold. 10 million cents? I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes, Detective. Darn. How'd you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and better at seeing through me every year. Although I grow with each revolution of the planet around the sun, I have the distinct impression that he continues to madly spin in place. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, so that 10 million cents, is that in euros or in dollars? Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, is there any chance your cargo is related to our There is a chance that your cargo is related to our murder case. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine it a bit closer. It is a very valuable piece of art, so no, there will be no touching. If Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring, then it's possible this fake statue is brought on board from Jingfa. I think I need to question him about this a bit further. About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc. I was wondering if it might be a fake. What? How dare you say my art is fake? I suspect that your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring. Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves would not dare. I have the certification in my cargo right here. Do you mean this cargo certification document? Mr. Zinc LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once. I can't read this. What does it say? It says plain as day. The cargo was put onto the plane in Europe. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. Too bad for you. This statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in the certificate. No, that's... Which means that there was never a window of time in which the statue wasn't sitting there. I respectfully disagree. We can't discount the theory until I see the statue myself. Then you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see I am right. I know I've seen this somewhere before. This is the Alfie Red? It gives off such a feeling of awe. I could practically smell it. This statue has a high amount of historical value. After it was unveiled in the museum at a museum in Europe, I brought it to this country to exhibit it. I believe a closer look is warranted here. So this is the infamous Alfie Red statue. Oh, a leaf. Oh, I'm dyslexic. A leaf red statue. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you find something? There's something wrong with this picture. Wait. There's a picture of the guy with it, but it has red... Yeah, it's called the leaf red because it's got red eyes. Are those eyes made of some sort of gem? That is a real nice... Oh. That's a real nice shade of orange. For a sec I couldn't even tell they were jewels. Oh, but they kind of remind me of the eyes of the stray cat that lives near my house. Are they supposed to be this colour? Is it possible the statue is a fake? Eureka! These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think? Yeah, and pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir. I don't think you see what I'm talking about. No, I do, but it's really like the colour of the sun when it's setting, sir. Oh, the memories. I remember standing out in that field, spinning with my arms out until I felt ill. I don't care about sunsets. Focus, detective. What colour are the eyes in this photo? Huh? Oh, sir, they're red! As I thought, this statue is a fake. Mr. LeBlanc, you've been ripped off. What do you want? Do you not know how I am busy, man? I will allow you 2 seconds for your answer. Objection. The Alif Red, I suppose, is your pride and joy, is it not? It's the biggest trophy in all of this European trip. Do you know if I wanted to possess this statue? The trigger started 17 years ago. Better grab a chair and sit, sir. Looks like this is going to be a long story. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you that you have my heartfelt sympathies, but... What is it, sympathy? Sympathy? For what? You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes. That large fellow... Oh. Why are we spamming things? What's happening? That large fellow in there has very bright and pretty eyes compared... No. That large fellow in there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you. I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us and the one in this photo. Why is the sudden yelling now that... Oh... This is a photo of the statue on display at the museum in Europe. More! Now do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake. He is all gum. I believe that even further examination will be required, now that we have confirmed that this is indeed a fake. There must be some sort of proof that it was brought on board in Zhengfa. I will now present you with evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. The statue looks like it's stepping all over its neighbour's curtain. I'm not entirely confident, but there is a contradiction here. Well, if it was loaded in Europe, it can't be on this because this is the Zhengfa Express. Oh, this one, yeah. There is clearly a contradiction here. What are you going on about? It's just a simple case of cargo cover getting stuck underneath another parcel cargo. Ah, that's not possible. But it is. It shouldn't be this way, but the statue is on top of the cloth, supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on in Zhengfa. There's no way that any part of it should wind up under something from Europe, which means that this fake statue was smuggled on board in Zhengfa. But then what about the cargo certificate? Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There's only one reason, to secure proof of smuggling activity on board this flight. So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. We could have easily just inspected all of the cargo after the plane landed. And that may be true, however, you have it backwards, Francesca. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed, but he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. I suppose he'd found the fake at the airport. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport, it would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would have naturally fallen to the statue's owner, who would have no way to prove that the statue was switched out without his knowledge, which means there's somebody involved who's forging or modifying cargo certificates. The Leafred certificate updated. And there's only one person on this flight that speaks Borginian apart from this dude. And that is fucking Cammy Mealy. Cammy Mealy. I guess the victim knew the real version of this was going to get nabbed, Yes, well, this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir. It was in fact taken to be used as reference for a document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold. A rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board. A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Zhengfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler. Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zhengfa leg of the trip, it would have been enough height to fall from which Agent Hicks would have fallen to his death. Officer! Move the statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath, now. Miss Von Karma, I'm ready to report my findings. Go on. After moving the Elif Red statue out of the way, we tested the area with luminol and there was a reaction. Oh, he's fucking dead, ain't he, bro? Yeah. I like to believe it's because she has a melee weapon. I see as there was a reaction to luminol and indications that there was blood in that spot. Could we stop looking at it now, sirs? It would seem that my deductions were correct after all. I suppose it would appear that way. And the culprit cleaned the blood up well. And how do you know the killer did that?
Take that!
The killer used this bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess. I see. They had a need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Zhengfa. Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover. So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Zhengfa? Who gave us this statement, by the way? It was from her! Ooh, she lying. But if that is true, then that throws certain person's testimony into doubt. If the murderer... Oh, God.
I'm so smart. Oh my god. Good luck. Those are a pain in the ass to do. I don't like doing them. The murder occurred before we landed in Zhengfa, and this becomes highly suspect. Miss Meal's testimony. Recall Miss Meal's testimony about Agent Hicks in regards to when we departed Zhengfa. I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know. She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time out of the service calls, but that totally contradicts the facts, sir. But why would you lie about something like that? I think only one person that can answer that is Miss Meal herself. Hey, that took us considerably less time. Hey, we might get this case done today. Miss Meal. Miss Meal! Huh? Do you recall what you said earlier? Still. I hope you do well in it. About when you answered some service calls as we were departing from Zhengfa. Huh? You said that Mr. Hicks was sitting in his seat at that time. However, that is simply not possible, because Mr. Hicks was dead long before we ever touched down in Zhengfa. Oh? Miss Cummy Meal! Maybe I didn't see what I thought I did. No one could make a mistake so large, Miss Meal. But I make that kind of boo-boo all the time. This is going nowhere. There must be a better way of resolving this contradiction. Very well. Miss Meal, if you please, tell me about your alibi during the time span, from just before we were about to land at 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. when the body was discovered. Are you telling me I'm a suspect, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah. What a wonderful day to love women, huh? No, yeah. From 3 to 4, I was, in the in-flight attendance room, moved by Miles himself. Yeah. And from 5 to 6, I was, in the in-flight attendance room, moved by Miles himself. How was a man supposed to react to a testimony like that? Miss Meal, wake up! She's fast asleep again. Me. It looks like the only way I'm going to be able to wake her up is by pressing her. Pressing her where, Mr. Edgeworth?
Hold it!
If I remember correctly, food was being served in the first class and the lounge between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m. Yeah, but that kind of stuff's run by Miss Rhoda. He could be bisexual, you don't know that. Oh my god. Well, and then what were you doing in the attendance room at that time? Eating and then having a most delicious dream. You mean you were neglecting your duties? No way! Sleeping's part of a job too, you know. From 5 to 6, I was in the flight attendance lounge all by myself.
Hold it!
So you were alone the entire time, were you? Yeah, no one ever popped their head in to say hi. Oh, well, I think a contradiction just popped in and said hi. I'm gonna raise an objection. Because we know who was there. Miss Meal, there's a clear contradiction embedded in your testimony. What are you talking about? It was not possible you were alone in the attendance room the whole time from 5 to 6 a.m. Ding 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 ding.
Take that!
I wonder if you would be so kind to take a look at this receipt for me, Miss Meal.
A receipt for what?
For a suitcase that Miss Tenero bought. Now, if I may direct your attention to the timestamp, as you can see, it clearly states 5:40, Miss Tenero.
Yes? Huh? Why is the killer here? I thought you'd have it locked up by now.
I requested that she be present as a witness so that we may straighten out your complex lie. Now then, Miss Tenero, between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m., you took a trip from first class down to the first floor in-flight shop, correct?
Yes, I went to the shop to buy a suitcase. After which I went straight to the attendant's room to drop it off.
Did you see Miss Meal there at that time?
No.
So, Miss Meal, where were you really between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m.? Miss Camille!
Huh? The bathroom?
I'd be the one to ask the questions here.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I probably just missed her. Nature calls, you know.
Do you take me for a fool? That's a little too convenient to be true.
No, it's like the truth. Cross my heart.
I don't have enough conclusive proof to counter-argue her at this stage.
You don't believe me, do you? But please, won't you give me a chance and hear me out?
She has not a single thought behind her eyes. She is all tits.
Look, I know you're suspecting me because, like, I am one of the crew. But I would say that maybe you should also suspect Miss Rhoda, too. She's the one in charge of the elevator key card in the shop, you know. If you ask me, that makes her super suspicious.
Please leave Miss Tenero out of the conversation. Only you are under suspicion for now.
I don't get it. Why are you covering for Miss Rhoda all of a sudden? Oh, now I get it. Maybe you got your eye on Miss Rhoda.
Of course I'm keeping an eye on her. Never mind, he is gay. I can't very well let her escape, can I?
Never mind. But you wanna know something? Miss Rhoda actually kinda like...
I have absolutely no interest in people who can't appreciate my sense of design. Miss Rhoda had a crush on him. Now's not the time for this sort of talk. He's like, what the fuck?
Okay, look, I know you're suspecting me because I'm one of the crew.
Hold it!
And what are you in charge of, Miss Meal?
I take care of the attendance room.
That doesn't count.
Oh, but I spend so much time in there, it might as well be my responsibility.
Mr. Edgeworth, Camille is very talented in languages, so she assists passengers who may not speak English, especially those who speak Bulgarian. She's the only one on this flight who is fluent.
Oh, you mean that kind of what am I in charge of? Why didn't you say so in the first place?
What else could I have meant?
Yeah, so I'm really good at Bulgarian.
She's fluent in Bulgarian. Then I suppose you're in charge of processing documents in Bulgarian.
Yeah, I take care of anything that has to do with Bulgarian.
Very interesting.
Objection!
Yeah.
So, you are the only one on this crack crew that speaks Bulgarian. Is that correct?
Yeah, I guess so. I studied abroad in Bulgaria for a while.
She's so cute. If that's the case, then the signature in this document belongs to you, doesn't it? This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose: to lead anyone who reads it to believe that Mr. LeBlanc's statue was loaded in Europe. The only person who could have either prepared or processed this document in Bulgarian is you, Miss Meal. Without your participation, the smuggling of the Alif Red could not have occurred. Do not sleep whilst I'm pointing my finger at you!
Oh, I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth. It's exactly as you say.
Are you confessing to have participated in the smuggling?
No, far from it. It's true that I was the one who signed off on that document. But you can't use that fact alone to make me an allegation of smuggling stick. There's no direct correlation after all. All you have is my signature on a piece of paper.
Really? All you did was sign it? I neglected to check if the cargo had been loaded up on the plane properly.
So sorry about that.
It seems that she's finally woken up, but this is going to be a tough fight.
I suppose,
And this is just a a maybe. Even if I was involved in the smuggling, you can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that.
Objection!
if you were involved in the smuggling, you've had strong motive to kill. Agent Hicks was in the middle of investigation regarding this smuggling ring. And just when he was about to close in, he's killed by a member of that ring. Well, did you ever stop to think that maybe Rhoda is the smuggling ring member? After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work purposes. So perhaps there is some kind of element of a setup at play in this case. What are you talking about?
Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you, I meant the killer. First, it was myself, and now it's Miss Tenero who's under the microscope. Seems to me that our killer is going to great lengths to pin this crime on anyone that they can.
You have no proof that Rhoda is being set up, or that she isn't.
Actually, I believe that she was the intended target from the very beginning. I believe the plan was to push all of the blame of the crime onto her. This evidence will prove my suspicion. The suitcase? Yeah.
Take that!
The killer could have hid the body anywhere, and yet they chose the suitcase. Why is that? Perhaps it was to move the body from the lower deck to the first floor. However, why go through all the trouble to do so? The only way for all these actions to make sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Miss Tenero for the murder. If Miss Tenero buys a suitcase on every flight that she works without fail, but should her suitcase be switched with the one containing the victim's body, that would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately for the killer, the turbulence put an end to that plan. There wasn't enough time to put the body back in the suitcase. Ergo, they made do with whatever was at hand and adapted their plan, and tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. The killer then went to hide the suitcase in the in-flight shop, and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree?
Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why did the killer need to frame someone that badly anyway?
It's because of the special circumstances surrounding this particular case. What special circumstances dictate the need to kill who the victim was? The killer was at a loss what to do with Agent Hicks's body, but it just so happens that there was a bunch of empty suitcases nearby. Being a skinny man, the killer thought to put his body in a suitcase and hand it off.
You mean the whole part of the plan was to frame someone? An elaborate coincidence?
No, that's not what I said. You wrongly deduced my meaning, Miss Mealy.
The Von was a 9. I picked the wrong Von. Oh, I may have been dyslexic when I. No.
Where?
I didn't see there was an ad.
Oh. The special circumstances. Yeah. The special circumstance is simply that the murder took place on a plane mid-flight. No matter which country, customs is quite strict in this day and age. So no matter what you do, the chances that the body would be found is very high. Therefore, there was no choice but to frame either Miss Tenero or myself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminal's movements is not Miss Tenero or myself, but you, Miss Camille. Only you and you alone could be the killer.
Yeah. And...
Are you done already? I was about to fall asleep again.
Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence.
Ugh. I can see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. Isn't there one piece of evidence that hasn't been accounted for? Something that I still can't fit into the phone. We haven't found it yet.
Take that!
I don't have any actual evidence. I thought not. But that's because it went missing and still is. Missing? What do you mean by that? In this complex puzzle that is this case, there was one piece I kept getting stuck on. And that is the victim's cell phone. Francisco, you were waiting at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hicks's cell phone. Or at least that's what you told me. That's right. But Agent Hicks's cell phone could not have been found at the crime scene. You mean the killer took his phone with them? Precisely. I suspect that if we were to find that phone, it would lead us to the killer. Come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't his phone break as well? We won't know that until we try a little experiment. Francisca, I'd like to ask for your assistance. You know the victim's phone number, don't you? Of course I do know. Agent Hicks's phone is ringing from somewhere, sir. I hear it, Detective. Now where is it coming from? Miss Millie, wake up! Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I get sleepy all of a sudden because it sounds like a lullaby I used to love as a child. Leave no stone unturned, Detective Gumshoe. We must find it. It doesn't seem to be over here. Let's look over somewhere else, sir. The ringing is coming from somewhere around here. But it's not here, sir. Why do I have such a bad feeling about where we're going to find this phone? What? No, it can't be. It's got to be the victim's cell phone. So whose locker is this, sir? It's Miss Tenero's. What? So, Mr. Edgeworth, how'd it go? Where did you find that phone? I found it in the flight attendant's room, in Miss Tenero's locker. What? But... Rhoda Tenero! I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me. Miss Von Karma, is it? I suggest you arrest Miss Rhoda Tenero right away. Wait, I have a theory, a game theory. This is related to the incident with the keycard. When the killer went to steal the keycard, they conveniently stashed the cell phone in Miss Tenero's locker at the same time. This is related to the keycard, alright. It's the same way that we have zero proof that the killer did just that. The only voice that sings true is the evidence. And that is one bird we cannot ignore. What should I do? Francisca's right. I can't offer baseless conjecture at this point. Alright then. Why did the culprit take the cell phone from Agent Hicks? Must have something very incriminating on it.
Hold it!
What the fuck do you want now, Miles Edgeworth? It's not over yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the cell phone. What? Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer. We need to examine the phone in more detail. The LCD is broken. Without a screen, you can't even place calls with this. Ah, it's a camera lens. Come to think of it, I wonder, how exactly was Agent Hicks planning to preserve the crime scene of smuggling? Francisca, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures? Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know that kind of basic stuff, sir. This looks like a very similar model to my own. And mine can take photos just fine. Do you think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures with this? In particular, pictures of evidence for his smuggling case? If so, there may be some very inconvenient photos in here of our killer smuggling. But the phone's all busted up, sir. Even a super prosecutor can't repair a broken phone. I'll find some way, don't you worry.
Can you go back to sleep now? Oh my god, you could take out his memory card. The LCD screen on the inside and outside are broken, that's for sure. But that also reason enough to believe that the killer was unable to erase the data. What? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Francesca? It looks like our killer wasn't very familiar with electronics. This phone still rang when I called, meaning that only the LCD screen are broken. It's possible that the photos are still inside waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone. Francesca, your phone, if you please. Very well. It's transferring. Alright, displaying it now. This is... Agent Hicks most certainly was trying to obtain some evidence for his smuggling case. Hey, that's the Elif Reds nowhere in this pic, sir. This has no meaning as a piece of evidence in this murder case, right? Oh, she's right. There's not much we can find out about Agent Hicks's killer, sir. Is this it? Is this the end? Is there really nothing? No, 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 no. God, rail. It looks exactly the same as it does now. That rail is entirely too low. I almost even fell to my death. However, I was saved in a miracle-like manner. Perhaps that is what to run away from death by the skin of one's gum mean. Tried to narrowly escape death by the skin of one's teeth, Shakespeare. Now then, there must be something in this photo. What is all of this? Oh, they are cargo ship from Burguinia to Zhengfa. So the reason they aren't here now is because they were dropped off at Zhengfa. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me the contents of these boxes? Unfortunately, there is no English written on them anywhere. One cluster of boxes is written in Burgundian. It says cloth in English. Cloth? Could it be this is where our killer... Wait, what is that scary face? Miss Meal? Yes. It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. He left us with a piece of evidence after all. A striking piece that will point to who our killer is. Ha! Maybe you should force your mistake reading. You shouldn't force your mistaken reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth.
Take that!
And what's that supposed to prove? The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood they had spilled. But there was one thing that bothered me. Where did this come from? And now we finally found my answer to this very photo. The cargo that was unloaded in Zhengfa had cloth written on it. In Bourguignon, that is. And this is where the killer grabbed that piece grabbed a piece from to clean up the blood with. That's right. The killer was somebody who could read and understand Bourguignon. And the only crew member that fits the description is you, Miss Camille. Ha! That's pretty flimsy. The killer probably searched all the boxes looking for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is in English or Bourguignon. Sorry, but I cannot agree with your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature. What? There was no need for the killer to tear through all the boxes at random at all. If the killer supposedly could not comprehend Bourguignon, then...
Take that!
Hey! It says bed sheets in English right on the box. Precisely. Even bed sheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't you say? So what are you trying to say? That if I were the criminal, this box of bed sheets would have been what I would have spotted first. However, the killer chose to use some Bourguignon cloth. Do you have an explanation for that? The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real scene of the crime was this cargo hold. They were afraid to leave signs that the box for the sheets had been opened. However, the Bourguignon cloth, well, that's a horse of a different colour. Because the killer knew that it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Zhengfa? That's right. And this is why the Bourguignon cloth was used. And the only Borginian reader on board who could make such a calculated decision is you, Camille. You and you alone.
Nah.
It would be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. After all we have to do is contact the Zhengfa authorities in turn. We may even find other evidence to incriminate our killer with those boxes. So what do you say, Miss Meal? Why not confess to your crime here and now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from our investigation in Zhengfa?
He was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here. He started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared. I was in trouble. I... Okay, have fun getting groceries. I don't know. I mean, you could take physical damage from Bubbles if she punches you. I don't think she would, but she might. We've finished making all the arrangements to take the suspect in, sir. Very good, detective. What about the smuggling route? Did she say anything about that? Oh, okay. They're taking her down to the precinct now. Hopefully we can get more out of her there. She would bite. I wonder where she gets that from. Whenever we even approached the topic, she just started foaming at the mouth. It was scary, sir. She probably wasn't prepared to commit murder all of a sudden. One thing is for sure, the ring behind this whole mess means serious business. It looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. Oh my god. Mr. Edgeworth. I just wanted to say how much I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much. It was nothing. In fact, I should be the one thanking you for your cooperation. But truly, if it wasn't for you, I might not be here right now. Instead, I can continue being a flight attendant. I hope that, well, please accept this token of my appreciation. That's... I see. You don't have to take it if you don't want it. No, I mean, I would never turn down a lady's generous offer. Oh, thank you. I'm sure it will serve you well. And remember, we here at Go You Airlines are always ready to serve, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Now, I must bid you farewell. May all of your skies be blue, no matter where you go. I can't believe we wound up investigating the whole day, sir. But boy, was it fun. Speak for yourself. My day was filled with earthquakes, elevators, and false charges. By the way, where's Francisca? Oh, she's filling out some customs paperwork for her departure. Departure? Yeah, Miss Von Karma's always really busy, sir. She's been flying from country to country to chase down some leads regarding her case. Detective, can you cancel that car I had you reserve earlier? You got it, sir. Francisca, I thought I told you when we first landed. I had no time for idle chatter. I have no intention of wasting your time. However, it has been a while since we last met. I also have no time for such familiar reminiscence. Just who do you think I am? You are Francisca von Karma, a very proud prosecutor deserving of much respect. Until only a little while ago, I was but a wretched mutt who was always losing to you. A dancing parrot living her life on the name of fame from her invincible father. Living her life on the name and fame her invincible father built. True, your father, Manfred von Karma, didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. However, I would not say he was invincible. I shot him. What are you talking about? The group I'm on the trail of is a little more troublesome than most. The smuggling route we found this time is only one sliver of a big picture. Sounds like a dangerous assignment. You really don't have to worry. I can take care of myself. Yes, I suppose you can. Plus, there's another agent on the case with me. Oh, another agent? He's a star among Interpol agents. He has the highest successful arrest rates.
Who knows? Maybe you'll even run into him one day. I was simply caught up in one case. I hardly see where we would cross paths. I suppose. But I doubt he would say the same. I'm not following you. You'll understand soon enough. The fight has only just begun, Miles Edgeworth. I'll be back in this country soon enough. And when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back. In full. No, the flight to London's cancelled. And just like that, she's gone, huh, sir? Thank goodness, I can finally rest easy knowing I won't have to watch out for a whip. Detective Gumshoe, I want to thank you for all your help and cooperation. Oh, it was nothing, sir. I'm just happy to be able to work with you again. Ho ho. Ho ho ho, Green Giant. I think we're going to celebrate by adding a little extra sauce to my salt to my instant noodles tonight. You-core. Basil-core. Just how much did you cut his salary by, Francisca? Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office. Sure thing, sir. I'll even fly down the road a patrol car if you want. Don't make me remind you, Detective, safety first. Thus, I solved the first case upon my arrival home. Francisca von Karma, the smuggling route she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put their trump card into play. And the players on the other side of this war. They would begin to make themselves known through the next incidents. Edgeworth speaking. Ah, finally. I called who knows how many times earlier, but couldn't get through. And you are? Oh. I forgot. Ernest Amano, correct? Ah, so you do remember me. I know it's rather sudden, but I can't ask this of anyone else. There's been an incident, Miles. My son, he's been kidnapped. I didn't know. I also got really excited. I was like, Diego? No. Well, it's okay. We've just finished. Okay. Now, we've been going for 2 hours. I'm a little hungry. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a cool cat thing called... I'm gonna put it in... yeah, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna make dinner. And then I'm gonna stream the same... No, I mean... I'll probably... might see if I can stream tomorrow or something like that. But leave it here for now. Okie dokie. Look, you can see the silhouette of your husband. Woo! All right. Well. Well then. This has been fun. This has been very nice. Oh my god, Simon Blackwell theme as well. Wow, you're really getting a treat here. Anyway. Yeah, I'll try and stream tomorrow. And... Hello, Bax. And we can see the third case with Shilong Lang in it. Bye bye. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. So yeah, thank you everyone for hi Bax. Thank you everyone for tuning in and watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.